All right, in this next segment, we're going to talk about budgeting for just a minute. When it comes to financing the truck, meaning that you've paid cash or some amount of cash toward purchasing the truck outright, in those instances, budgeting can be a little bit trickier because what you're having to factor in is what is the life cycle of this truck. So if you're early in the life cycle, you would be able to reflect lower maintenance cost in your budget when you're planning for the year. Whereas some trucks, certainly in someone's fleet, are going to be 3, 4, 5 years old, and those maintenance costs are going to start escalating. And you actually have to factor that into how much you're paying for the truck and how much you should expect to pay in your budget. By comparison, when you've got a leased truck, there's really nothing to budget for except for the fixed payment associated with each one of the trucks that are leased. There's no fluctuation in that cost over the life of the lease. And again, as we've mentioned, those leases are generally going to range over 36 or 48 months. And so from a planning standpoint, it takes some of the burden off of the contractor having to analyze their fleet, get a good idea of, hey, what is the useful life of these trucks that I actually own, and how much do I expect to have to pay in maintenance cost? And you've got to, in those instances, put some allocation toward that big ticket item. You've got to say, if I've got 10 trucks and they're all over 100,000 miles, you would be very wise to budget for probably an engine or a transmission or some big ticket items in that scenario, which is going to obviously it's going to compress your profit margin that you're expecting to make on that business. Whereas with a lease, it's another benefit of that turnkey solution to where you kind of set it and forget it. You know what it is, and so you just build that into your calculation and move forward. It doesn't have to be that variable. It doesn't have to be that wild card that owning a truck certainly can be.